Hello and welcome to Rhetoric 3326, Technical Writing. My name is Dr. Heidi Harris and I'll be your professor for this course. This video is a brief introduction to the components of the course, in particular 3 areas you'll need to be successful in the course. The first is the course Blackboard site, the second is our course Weebly page, and the last is Google Docs or Google Drive that you'll have access to through your UALR email. We'll review all 3 of these components in this video. First, we'll start with the course Blackboard page, which you should be able to access through the UALR website. I'm starting with the home page here. You will have received this announcement through your UALR email, and the same announcement is posted to the front page of the Blackboard site. Each week I'll have a welcome announcement that comes out probably Sunday afternoon, some with brief videos, some without, that walk you through the week's activities. So I'm going to start in the Blackboard course site. The Blackboard shell is basically to post things that are password protected. So our discussions will be password protected. Your grades will be password protected. Those will exist in the Blackboard site. Other elements of the course are actually going to be hosted in a Weebly site. So if you click on either the syllabus or the schedule button here in Blackboard, that will take you to the Weebly site itself. And that's where the information for the course, the remainder of the information, is going to be stored. And I'll go over that here in a few minutes. First, I'm going to walk you quickly through the Blackboard site and some of the elements that you'll find listed there. So what we just opened was the syllabus or the course site. The schedule for the course is also linked here. If you click on that, you'll be taken to the schedule for the course. Once you become more familiar with the course, what you might want to do is just bookmark this page on a browser or on a bookmark site, and then each week, once you get the welcome announcement, start directly with this page, because this page links you directly to the assignments for the course, gives you the due dates, and talks about any readings that you'll need to complete the course. So you can operate directly from the schedule page and be effective in the course. Back in Blackboard, you'll also have access to the discussion board. The discussion board is where we're going to be doing the discussion weeks in the course. Weeks 1, 2, and 3 will be having some course discussions to both introduce ourselves to our classmates and to start working on the first formal report project. Right now you see 2 forums. The first is the Q&A discussion forum, and I'm going to take just a minute to show you one feature of this forum that you might want to utilize. Once you click on the name of the Blackboard discussion forum, it takes you into the forum itself. You can create a thread if you want to create a new message and send to the rest of the class. You can also use this subscribe feature, and if you click on that in the Q&A discussion board forum, what that basically does is subscribes you to all the messages that come into this forum. And once someone posts a message in there, let's say you have a question about the schedule or about an assignment, all the students that have subscribed to this forum are going to receive an email saying that someone has posted a message in here, and you can go in and check it to see if there's an issue that you need to understand about the course. I'll respond to questions in this area as well, and you'll also get emails generating to your email if you've subscribed to this that tell you that I've responded to questions in this forum. Going back to the discussion board, you'll also see the forum for the week 1 introductory discussion board. What you're going to need to do is review the assignment, which I will link the assignments directly in to the discussion board forums as well, and then go in here to create a thread and complete that first week's discussion. And to do so, you just basically click on create thread. Go in and put a interesting subject line. Create your discussion board post, and then you can click submit. And how these features work a little bit differently than the first one is that once you create a thread in the discussion board forums that are not the Q&A forum, you can go back into your particular thread. So here's my thread that I've just created. Click on the title for that thread, and then you should be able to subscribe just to your thread. And what that does is it lets you know when people respond to you in particular and not necessarily to the whole forum, because that would be overwhelming. So I'm going to subscribe to my initial thread once I've created it, and now anytime someone responds to my subject or to my initial post, I'll get an email. I don't have to go back into Blackboard and check it over and over. So those are just some guidelines for using the discussion board. You'll also see a groups area. We're not going to use that right away, but we'll be doing a group project later in the class. There's a button that takes you to some more information about myself. I won't read to you, but if you're interested in both my personal or private information, you can go there. I also have a website you can visit that has a little bit more information about me as well. The grades tab I can't actually access because I don't have access to it through this feature, but you will be able to click on there and see all of your grades for the course, and we'll go over the specifics about grading when we talk about the class Weebly site. There are also tabs for library help and for Blackboard student support. You can click on either one of those and get help if you have need with either research or with the Blackboard site itself. So I want to talk about the Weebly site next, and that's basically the syllabus that I clicked on that came up in this window. This is the electronic syllabus for the course, so all of the information that's included in these tabs is also included in a downloadable printable version. So if you're the kind of person who likes to download a paper copy, you can click on that, click here area, and it will take you to a paper version of the syllabus. But that information is also included on here as well. There's a description of the course. Here's the textbook with an ISBN number. You should be able to find a copy of this fairly inexpensively online. You'll need to get it as soon as possible, however, because we're going to be using it pretty extensively in week 1. There's also information about reaching me. Email is the easiest way to reach me. I generally respond no later than 12 hours after I receive the email, but generally within a few hours. I access it on my phone. I'm up several times during the night, usually, so I should be able to respond to you fairly quickly, even if it's just something to say, hey, I've gotten your email and I'll work on that. If you need to do a Google Hangout or a Skype session to talk to me individually, we can do that as well, and we can arrange that through email. I don't often answer or check voice messages on my office phone, so it'll take you a little bit longer if you do a phone call. But you can email me and say, we need to do a phone call, I need to talk to you, and we can do that as well. The course outcomes are posted here. Normally you probably don't think much about the outcomes in a course. They're just there on the syllabus to take up space. In Rhetoric 3326, the outcomes are vital to being successful in the course. All of the grading on each assignment is tied to one of these 4 outcomes that are posted in the outcomes section. And I actually, for each assignment, have a think about it area at the very bottom that has this little icon. And I'll give specific instructions about how you can meet the course outcomes for each assignment in that area. So you'll want to make sure and take note of that in each area of the course where we go to the assignments, and I'll show you that here in just a second. The next area is assignments itself. You'll notice when I hover over this, it brings us to a drop-down menu with specific assignment descriptions. But if you click on that assignments link as well, you'll see the breakdown of the percentages for the course. This is a weighted course, so we grade by percentage. If you do a straight points earned divided by points possible, it won't be an accurate assessment of your grade for the course. So all of your assignments are described in detail here. We'll click on the introductory email just to do an example. This is also linked into your schedule, so you can access it that way as well. This is the basic components of the assignment. It will always tell you to check the schedule for a due date, and it will tell you how this should be submitted at the top. In this instance, you'll be submitting this to me through email. And then here's your Think About It section. So reading this will help you walk through what I'm going to be looking for, how I'm going to be evaluating this. It's very important to take special note of this. Anything, readings are also linked into here, and sometimes I'll have videos that help you with a specific component. In this case, you're going to be needing to create your subject line in Gmail, so this video will show you how to do your Gmail signature. A signature line, not subject line, I'm sorry. Next, we have grading policies. The grading guidelines are pretty straightforward. It's a 100-point system, no pluses or minuses. This talks about how you can calculate your grade. The Blackboard grades area will do that for you. I do allow 1 late submission for any reason. Doesn't matter what it is. You can turn in 1 thing late. If you do have some long-term illness or some larger problem, communicate with me in advance so we can work out something. It's very hard to make up work in the class, so I generally don't allow late work submissions. And for some of the submissions, like the proposal for the formal report, you have to submit the proposal to be able to complete the formal report, even if you don't get a grade for it. So you can submit that basically late. You might want to use your 1 late submission if you need for that assignment, but that has to be submitted before you have permission to proceed in the class. Take a minute and review the grading policies. I've been teaching this course about 15 years, and this chart breaks down the qualities that I see students demonstrate at each grade point. So to earn an A in the class, here's what you'll need to do: a B, a C. So basically review this section. If you know you need a particular grade in the course to keep a scholarship, to graduate, or for requirements for your program, plan on doing the work at the level that is indicated in this grading section. This is an online course, so some technology will be required, and this just gives you an overview of the technology. I'd recommend accessing the course in the Firefox browser. Explorer and Chrome do not work well with Blackboard. Firefox works probably the best. If you don't know how to get to Firefox, just go to a Google search, type in Firefox, and you'll be able to download that for free onto your computer. You will need reliable internet access. You'll need to be accessing the course 2 to 3 times a week to be successful in the course. So you'll need some either access to it at your home or a friend's house or a library or your dorm, somewhere where you can access the internet regularly. Please use your UALR email both for Google Documents and Drive submissions and for emails to me. I don't answer emails from external sites because I don't know if it's really you, and that protects your student privacy under FERPA. Blackboard, which we just went over, if you have any problems with that, contact the Blackboard help that I've linked in here. You'll need reliable document storage, which can be Google Documents and Google Drive, and we'll go over that here in a minute. Adobe Acrobat Reader sometimes will have PDF files that you might need to open, so make sure you have that installed on your machine. And then a word processing software. Again, that can be Google Documents, it could be Microsoft Word. I just ask that if you use Pages that you convert your documents, because I don't work with Pages. I actually work with Microsoft Office for Word, or Microsoft Office for Macs. So this page just gives you an overview of that. Policies, I have a netiquette policy basically saying this is an online course where you should conduct yourself as a professional, use proper capitalization, spelling, and grammar, not chat talk or chat speak. Sign your name, make sure I know who you are. I have about 40 students, so it's sometimes difficult to understand who's sending me a message without signing your name. And then provide descriptive subject lines, especially in emails and on the discussion board, so I understand what the content of the message is. You can review the other policies. The academic integrity policy, please make sure your work is your own. Don't cut and paste abstracts from articles when we do our abstracts in the course. Don't use work from another course that you've previously completed or another person's work. I'm pretty stringent about that. Disability statement, if you have a disability, please contact Disability Resource Center so they can document your disability and I can help you with accommodations for that. And then non-discrimination policy. I'm very serious about not discriminating against others in the course. If you feel another student or myself has done so in any way, please contact myself or follow the policy that's outlined in the student handbook for reporting that. Lastly, the schedule, which I'd already opened through the Blackboard site, but you can also open through this link here, is basically the homepage of the course for our Weebly site. All of the assignments are linked in here, and that takes you those same assignment pages that you can access through this drop-down menu. Due dates, so if you know particular times you're going to be busy and you want to work in advance or schedule in advance, just please follow the schedule. And then any readings that we have for the course are going to be highlighted in blue. It's very important that you do the readings for the course, that you have the textbook. It's not a very expensive book, and it's very helpful with practical hints for how to do the assignments. So let me know if you're having any trouble getting the book. The first 2 assignments in week 1, the first is the introductory discussion board that I've already just really briefly shown you. The second is the introductory email. So this would be a good time to go in and just review those assignments to get started in week 1. The last thing I want to show you is the Google Drive area. Several of the assignments I'll actually ask you to submit through Google Drive, and this will be how you'll do that if you've never used Google Drive before. If you have used Google Drive, you can pretty much stop the video right now. The rest of the video will be about using that service. Once you get into your UALR email account, Google Drive is actually hosted in the App Suite over here in this little kind of Rubik's Cube looking icon. So if you click on that, you'll see Drive as one of your options. And once you click on Drive, it opens up an area where you can create documents, presentations like a PowerPoint, spreadsheets like Excel. For this course, you'll basically be doing documents. So you can click on the document area and it pulls up a new document. The first thing you'll want to do is rename that document. I have about 40 students in the class, so a good way to do this is to type your last name and the number of the assignment. So let's say it's the 2.1 Common Errors assignment. That's what the document itself should be named. I'll actually bounce it back to you if you haven't named the assignment and ask you to name it until you have worked that through. Changes are automatically saved in Google Drive, so if you're a person who can accidentally kick the plug in your computer and delete a Word document, the changes here will be saved. You'll be able to access them from any computer. You can type the assignment, and then once you're done with the assignment, you'll just want to share that with me. And to do so, you just go to the share icon in the upper right hand corner, click on that. You can see it's automatically by default set to private to you. Then you can just type in my email address. It's actually haharris@ulr.edu, but I'm going to, just for this example, use my private Gmail address. It's automatically set to can edit, which is how it should be because I'll need access to your document. It will notify me via email, which is how I know you've submitted the assignment. And then you can select to send a copy to yourself if you just want to verify that it went through. Click send on that. You won't get that message. And then it'll basically show you that you've shared it with me and that I can edit the document. You can click done, and then you can actually go in and edit here as well. If you say, oh, I submitted it, but I just realized I need to do something a little bit better, you can go back in up until the point at which I grade it and modify anything that you want. It'll automatically show up on my version as well. So those are the basic components of our course. Again, if you have any questions at all, please contact me through email. My email address is linked in at several places in the course. Use your UALR email account. I look forward to a great semester. I love teaching this course. I think it's practical and useful for people in all professions. And I'm happy to answer any questions or help you with anything that you need in the course at any time. So have a great week. Let's get started, and I look forward to working with you. Thanks.